There are three major infrastructure changes, both to colleges, transportation, and everything happening in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're covering the top biggest three happening that just got announced. So let's talk about that. Hey everybody! If you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the dumpster fire, the horrible, the no good state of Illinois, the worst. Anyways, I could have moved anywhere I wanted to in America. I could have moved to Huntsville, I could have moved to Knoxville, I could have moved to Maryville, I could have moved to Golden, I could have moved to Boulder, I could have moved to Boise, I could have moved anywhere. But I chose Northwest Arkansas, and it's by far the best place to live in America, literally by far. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America, call me, email me, text me, let's sit down for coffee. Let's talk about, again, why I chose Northwest Arkansas, again, versus anywhere else in America. And also, I want to mention this out there. Always call me, text me, whatever the case is. I always love talking about real estate here in the area itself. I always make time for all my clients and people looking to move to the area. So feel free to call me anytime. I will always make time. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump right into the content. All right, and the first thing we need to cover is the Northwest Arkansas Council just put out a survey feedback form about its kind of comprehensive transportation plan. Now, it's super interesting. They came out with this, I think last year, they kind of shared the results. But let me kind of talk briefly about the results and then where I think this is going to end up. So basically, just to shorten the story, after going through all the data, what it boils down to is that people want more public transportation. So that's the first off. Now, in the perfect world, the trail systems would be great, which they're building out exponentially quicker, fast, everything, that people would be riding different uses of transportation to places, meaning, e-bikes, biking, hiking, walking, even sometimes like scooters, that nature, that's kind of the idea. But, and I get this, but, not everyone wants to do those things. And so there's been a huge we'll say uptick of demand and other things for public transportation. Now, I don't know, they don't talk about railways, they do talk about buses, they talk about a lot of other things. And so I think down the pipeline, as Northwest Arkansas continues to grow and as it spreads out a little farther, and as, there's certainly corporate headquarters that a lot of people go to, those kind of public transportations are just going to be forced to happen. That's just going to be clear. The trail systems are going to be great because the goal for Walmart is to have 10% of the workforce actually bike their way to work. Great. That's very doable. I think they're about 7% right now. Cool. That's awesome. So secondly is that they will be offering at some point, the council, all of Northwest Arkansas, will be adding more buses to the area. In the perfect world, I would love a train system. That's probably not going to happen. Now, I think the reason being is because A, the cost, and then B, it's been really pushed back against. But the reason it has been pushed back against is that when you look at the data, when it comes to areas our size, they're not used as well as you think they would be, for obvious reasons. And so, but then you have to have staffing, you have to have officers, you have to have, cleaning, so there's a lot of other built-in expenses. And so this area is known for having very low taxes, it's going to be hard to put, unless the Waltons pay for everything, which they're not going to, then it's going to be hard to convince a municipality area to be able to do a train. Now, maybe in some distant 10-year plan, there could be a train that runs along or up against 49 potentially. There's space there for that. That could be a thing. Regardless of all of that, one thing that's consistent is that from 2023 to 24, people said that congestion has gone down quite a bit. So there's a huge drop in congestion of traffic because 2023 is wild when it came to stuff because of so much construction going on. 2024 is much better. So seeing that decrease was great, but the increase for public transportation has been clear. And I think that's going to be coming down the pipeline here pretty soon. It doesn't mean that we're all going to be using buses. It just means that people that go from one place to another pretty consistently, as we do for work, it's do I really want to drive my car, or would I rather jump on the bus and then go jump on a train realistic and go? But regardless of all that, I'm sure there's going to be some other things in play when it comes to future public transportation. And the second big infrastructure change happening in Northwest Arkansas actually goes back to the brand new soccer stadium being announced, the new location for the soccer stadium being announced in Pinnacle Hills. Now, originally it was supposed to be a much, much smaller stadium, much, much smaller footprint. It has gotten exceptionally larger. We're talking triple the size of everything. So bigger land, bigger everything. But with the land now, they're doing the soccer stadium and parking, and they're leveraging some of the Pinnacle parking as well, but they're actually adding more multifamily, more restaurants, more apartments. It's going to be a whole thing in that section of Pinnacle. That makes way more sense because Pinnacle needs more things like that. More living spaces, more townhouses, more, coffee shops, more shopping stuff, more, outlet centers, stuff like that nature. That's going to be a much bigger win for that area than just a very we'll say simple soccer stadium. Now it's going to be a fully fledged operational soccer stadium, multi-use family, multi-everything when it comes to that area itself. So super jazzed to see that. It's going to add so much value to that Pinnacle Hills area between the new, obviously we have Whole Foods coming down the pipeline. We have all sorts of new heart level facilities, meaning like medical stuff. We have all sorts of new businesses opening in that Pinnacle Hills section like this year at some point. So super jazzed to see all that happening right away in Pinnacle. Whoa, 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 whoa. I made something for you. I made something called 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're looking to check this place out. Maybe you're looking to come down here, maybe vacation, maybe just, you never know. I made 3-day itineraries, like literally day by day, restaurant by restaurant, thing by thing. So maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. I have 3-day itineraries linked down below for you. So go ahead and download them and use them when you get down here. Also, maybe you are using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is, literally, is Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below, name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to in Northwest Arkansas? Enter all that information below and make sure to miss a single notification when it comes for home for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. And every single Friday, I send an email out just talking about all the cool things happening in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? When is First Fridays? When is First Thursdays? What's going on in Fayetteville? What's going on downtown Rogers? What's going on in Pinnacle? What is going on in Walmart Amphitheater? What new golf course coming here? What's going on at Topgolf? There are so many things all the time. Enter your name below, enter your email below, make sure you get that email every single Friday. But I need you to be aware, I need you just heads up here. You will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak, but I promise you will be the most important person eventually when you make it down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third big infrastructure changing happening in Northwest Arkansas is actually going back to our community college, they called NWACC, in Northwest Arkansas. So NWACC has been known to be a very good community college. It's very progressive in a sense of like they have bike fixing, and that sounds simple, but what I mean is like they actually have a training program for you to be able to learn how to fix and correct and train and actually maintain mountain bikes, because kind of a thing around here. The second thing, they have actual degree in trail building. They have a lot of unique degrees focused on Northwest Arkansas. There's a lot of food degrees, there's a lot of nurse degrees, a lot of things like that. So very well-rounded community college. But so here's my theory here. I'm gonna take a step back. They have a huge master plan that they just announced for NWACC. More land, more buildings, more everything. So they're basically doubling the size of NWACC, if not even bigger, to handle the growth in the next 10, 20, 50 years. Part of that is the fact that the University of Arkansas has done very, very well for itself and keeps growing every single year, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people every single year. They have housing issues, they have stuff going on, but they continue to do very well. It's a very affordable college, it's a well-respected college. The Razorback fandom is insane, so you get that as well. So what's happening, I believe, is that with the local people that live here now, of course, that may want to go to University of Arkansas eventually, NWACC just needs to, and with more people moving here, they need to make a bigger community college. So they're tripling, quadrupling the size of the college itself, more campuses, more everything when it comes to NWACC, more programs, more teachers. So it's exciting to see such a forward-thinking area. Hey, we know this area is going to be north of 1 million people in about 15, 20 years. That's just guaranteed almost. What do we need to do to make sure that we can help the people that need to go to community college first, eventually go to University of Arkansas? What do they need to? What space do we need? What kind of degrees do we need? What's going to be the future looking like? So seeing them put this plan in place is great. In all fairness, what's nice thing is that we do have a lot of people like the Tysons and the JB Hunts and the Waltons be able to put a lot of cash into that so they can expand quickly, grow quickly, and that's actually been a big win for NWACC, is getting some of that we'll say donor money to be able to expand quickly and grow to basically match the pace of the times and not having to always raise, let's say, tuition to make it happen. Have to wait 10 years or anything like that nature. So it's nice to have that kind of influx of cash on the other side to make that happen. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you have not been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is, literally a starter pack full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. It comes with a 120-page guide, literally made by me, by yours truly, page by page, basically detailing demographics, cities, populations, all the cool things that's going on here. So basically it's your go-to guide for all the things about Northwest Arkansas. 120-page guide. It's a real thick boy, to say the least. Then it comes with my 3-day itineraries printed right in there. Comes with stickers, it comes with postcards, and just wait. It comes with the NWA coloring book. Wow! Anyway, who doesn't want this thing? It's amazing. I mean, are those times you just sit at work and color? You shouldn't be doing that, but maybe you want to. Anyways, coloring book, fantastic. Long story short, it comes in a box, literally shipped boxed right to your home. Enter your name and address below. I'll make sure you get that package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't my favorite part of F word? Free! So enter your information below. Make sure to get that package shipped to you right away. Alright guys, it's the next one.